All right, 8:31. I guess you could call it, it's a moment when time kind of stands still for you.
And it's one that starts with a knock at the door. Both Ryan Manion and Heather Kelly have experienced it. For Ryan, it was back on April 29th of 2007, the day her brother, Marine First Lieutenant Travis, was killed. She was attending a family barbecue when members of the military showed up with the devastating news. The Doylestown, Pennsylvania native was killed along with several fellow Marines while searching a suspected insurgent house in Iraq. And it was a similar story for Heather Kelly. She lost her husband, Marine First Lieutenant Robert Kelly, back on November 9th of 2010 in Afghanistan. It was his final deployment. Sadly, her knock at the door came at 3 in the morning while Heather was living in California. So Ryan and Heather share their heartache and the pain and how they persevered in their new book, which is called The Knock at the Door. 3 Gold Star families bonded by grief and purpose.
Ryan and Heather, welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Good to have you here. So, I mean, I'm sure it's a memory that will never go away. Tell me about your knock at the door.
My knock at the door came on Sunday, April 29, 2007. We had a family barbecue happening, so you know, it was a tragedy and a blessing at the same time that we were surrounded by our friends and family, and they were able to support us in the immediate aftermath.
But it was meant to be a joyous occasion, it was a family getting together.
Absolutely, yeah.
Heather, how about you?
For me, it was in the middle of the night at 3 o'clock in the morning, and the Marines came to my door and woke me up. You know, I was fast asleep, and you know, you welcome them into your living room.
Is it a blur, or do you remember specifically what they said and how you felt in that moment?
You kind of remember bits and pieces. Right. You know, it's of course a complete shock. You kind of have to put that thought out of your head. And
but do you, do you know, it's 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
They're in uniform, the person informed. You know when you open that door, don't you?
Yeah.
Why they're there.
I think for a moment you want to tell yourself,
please no.
It's not. It's that they need to find somebody else, or maybe it's just an injury. But you know, yeah, it's very strict protocol with the military.
You know what I like about the book, though? You don't have to be a member of the military or in a military family to get some advice from you.
Because I like how you put it. You say everyone will get their knock at the door.
Absolutely, and you know, and that's why we wrote this story for Heather and Amy, our other co-author, and myself. We got a literal knock at the door to tell us that our loved one had been taken from us. But this book is about everyone who will face a knock at the door. I mean, each of us, if we live long enough, will face adversity and challenges and tragedies in our life. And really, we wrote this story to share that the most important thing is not about that knock, but how you respond to it.
Well, how do you respond? How did you respond?
Well, you know, we're very candid in the book to say, you know, we didn't right away say, we're going to live a life of purpose. You know, we've had highs and lows, and it's taken me 12 years to be able to reflect. But the fact of the matter is I wake up every day with a sense of gratitude and appreciation for the short time that we have in this world. And Heather operates through humor. And, you know, she uses humor as a way to help her cope. And so there's a lot of different takeaways that everyone can kind of learn how to channel their grief, how to learn to channel through their adversities.
Yeah.
So, Heather, was that what it was for you that kept you going?
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the earliest ways that I was able to cope, and I talk about it in the book. My brother-in-law and I, you know, you have to have those moments of humor where you can kind of laugh instead of cry, and that was what helped get me through at the very beginning, for sure.
Was your husband funny?
Yes, very, absolutely.
In what way?
He was pretty sarcastic.
Oh, good.
Actually,
I love that.
He would test out jokes, and he said I was his toughest critic. So if I could laugh at a joke, maybe it was a good one.
Were they like puns and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. I understand.
Ryan, for you, tell us about your husband, what he was like.
A brother.
Brother.
Sorry,
Yeah,
excuse me.
Travis.
So Travis grew up right here in the Philadelphia area, graduate of LaSalle College High School. We grew up right in Doylestown, Pennsylvania.
You still there, Doylestown?
I'm still there.
Good.
And, you know, we loved growing up in this area. And Travis went on to the Naval Academy and then followed in my dad's footsteps. My dad's a retired colonel in the Marine Corps. Yeah. Entered into the Marine Corps after the Naval Academy. And, you know, personality-wise, he was also a pretty sarcastic, humorous guy. guy and love to have a good time. And, you know, I love being around the Philadelphia area because it always, there's so many memories of things that we did here together.
Sure.
And times we experienced.
You know, some people, we all have people die that we loved in our lives. And some people can never get over it, can never move on from it. What advice would you give them?
Well, I think, you know, I don't think you ever stop grieving. You know, I have people say to me that have lost a loved one, like, when does it end? Well, it doesn't really end, but it changes. And I think the best that we can do is, you know, for us, we always say we want to live lives worthy of their sacrifice, of Travis and Brendan and Rob's sacrifice. But I think that the best thing we can do is be the best version of ourselves for the ones that have gone before us.
Would you agree with that, Heather?
Absolutely. And don't wait until you've lost that loved one or that had that moment in your life. Be the best version of yourself now.
Yeah.
Well, I want to hear more from you ladies. You guys are having an event. You're going to be speaking in Doylestown. Tell us about it. When can we go?
Tomorrow at the Doylestown Bookshop, we're going to be doing an event at 3 o'clock. We'll be doing a reading and a Q&A to begin, and then a book signing afterwards.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, we're super excited.
I have a feeling it's going to be a big turnout.
I hope so.
I know so. Okay. Thank you both.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for having
sharing
us.
your story.